This ancient world operates on laws shaped over millennia. There is no warning. There is no mercy. This peace is but a fragile illusion. There is no room for error. Only the strong have the right to survive. In a single, unguarded moment, the earth can erupt, defining the boundary between life and death. The first rains of the season have begun to spatter across the East African savanna. But they are not yet enough to banish the heat that has built up over months. The grasslands shudder awake, flecked with tender green shoots threading through patches of sun-bleached stubble. The air thickens, shimmering in the wet, suffocating warmth. This is the oppressive threshold between seasons. Every movement costs energy and water, two currencies now more precious than gold. And so, at midday, the savanna falls almost silent. Even its most celebrated hunter cannot be bothered to stir. Beneath the canopy of a lone tree, a pride of lions lies sprawled, bellies exposed, nearly motionless. Lions can rest for up to 20 hours a day. In heat like this, every unnecessary hunt is a squandering of strength. For centuries, humans have called the lion the king of beasts. Yet for most of its life, that king simply lies still. Still, a resting lion is never a harmless lion. It watches through half-closed eyes, waiting for an opportunity easy enough to warrant rising. Because lions lack endurance. They explode into a ferocious burst over a very short distance and then tire, so they waste no effort chasing distant prey. What they wait for is a mistake, a careless animal, wandering too close, delivering itself as a meal. While the king sleeps away the heat, another creature is coping with the changing season in its own fashion. And it is one that few ever spare a second glance. Low-slung, caked in mud, its face studded with warts, armed with curved tusks and a scrawny tail. This is the African warthog, one of the most underestimated animals on the grasslands. Yet it is a consummate survivor, especially in this stifling air. The warthog's body has almost no sweat glands, making self-cooling nearly impossible. So it turns to mud. It rolls in the slurry, letting the wet layer draw away the heat while shielding its skin from the sun and scouring away parasites. To graze on the fresh shoots pushing up beneath the withered grass, it drops to both front knees, to feed a posture almost no other mammal adopts. Its curved tusks, sharp as blades, serve as weapons of defense. And the warts on its face are pads of thick tissue that cushion blows during fights. But the thing that saves the warthog's life most often in this sweltering furnace is a hole in the ground. It commandeers abandoned aardvark burrows. Down there, the air is far cooler than the oven above and far safer. And the most ingenious detail, when entering, it always backs in rear first, so its tusks point straight at the entrance, ready to impale anything foolish enough to follow. Yet all those layers of defense only work when the warthog stays close to its burrow. And one afternoon, a boar made exactly that mistake. It wandered across open ground, head down, grazing, drifting too far from shelter, right in front of a pride of lions resting beneath the trees. A meal laid bare in broad daylight like that is something no hungry lion can resist. Then she launched. The warthog bolted, hitting 30 miles per hour. But the life-saving burrow was too far away. One strike, and the prey collapsed in a cloud of dust. Jaws clamped around the throat, holding until every struggle faded. A kill rich in meat at a time of scarcity. For the pride, this is a precious meal that could sustain them for days. But the lion is not the only hunter stalking through this heat. Through the sweltering midday, another predator has been draped across a high branch, dozing among the leaves. A leopard. The loneliest and most silent hunter on the savannah. Its weapon is not raw power, but the erasure of distance. Its rosette-patterned coat fractures its outline amid the dappled light filtering through the canopy, rendering it nearly invisible to passing prey. This allows the leopard to crawl within striking range, sometimes just a few paces away before erupting in an instant. The leopard exploded from point-blank range. No time to run. No chance to fight. In seconds, it was over. Then it did what few hunters can. It hauled the entire carcass up into a high fork of a tree. The lion sleeps to conserve strength, rising only when an easy meal walks into range. The leopard hides from the sun in the trees. And the warthog, the most underestimated of them all, is nowhere near as feeble as it looks. A mud wallow, a pair of tusks, a life-saving burrow. it carries an entire survival toolkit few would ever suspect. These are exactly what let warthogs survive and thrive across Africa. The ones that fall are the ones that slip for a moment, wandering too far from safety or straying too close to danger, lying in wait. Because on the savannah, survival rarely belongs to the strongest or the most beautiful. It belongs to the one that understands its own limits. People tend to crown the flashiest kings, forgetting the quiet ones that endure generation after generation. That very same mistake repeats itself with a shadow that has been misunderstood for millions of years. Not far from Cape Point, South Africa, the sea's surface mirrors an empty sky. Below, the light fades foot by foot, until only deep blue remains. A dark shape appears. Across countless ages, every creature in these waters has learned to clear a path for this silent silhouette. Over 20 feet long, nearly 2 tons, gliding without disturbing the water. This is the great white shark. For centuries, it has stood as the ultimate symbol of power beneath the waves. An apex predator, the top of the food chain, jaws powerful enough to crush bone, and a reputation large enough to spawn countless legends. If the ocean has a king, most people would name this one. But power only means something when no one can challenge it. And that's where this story takes a completely different turn. Because even the great white shark has something that makes it flee. To understand why, the story first rewinds to the era when it ruled these waters unchallenged. The story begins in a bay on the southern tip of Africa. False Bay, South Africa. A crescent of water hugging the coastline near Cape Town, once known as the Great White Shark Capital of the World. At its peak, this was home to some of the largest individuals on the planet. Mature females longer than 20 feet, weighing as much as a small truck. Why did this species dominate? The answer lies in its own body, a design honed almost to perfection for hunting. A teardrop-shaped body, streamlined to almost zero drag. Each stroke of its crescent-shaped tail sends that massive body shooting forward like an arrow. Its skin isn't smooth. It's covered in millions of tiny tooth-like scales, layered like tiles, slicing through water almost silently. Yet its most formidable weapon lies hidden inside. The great white is one of the very few fish able to keep its body warmer than the surrounding water. The mechanism is called regional endothermy. Warm blood is rooted to its muscles, eyes, and brain, keeping its strength and reflexes sharp even in the cold. It's a decisive advantage. While cold-blooded prey grows sluggish in the chill, the shark's heated muscles can still unleash their full explosive power. Its eyes see clearly in low light. Yet sight is the smallest part of this animal's sensory arsenal. Its nostrils can detect a single drop of diluted blood among millions of gallons of seawater. The faintest trace is enough to lead it for miles. Running along its body is a sensory line that picks up the smallest vibrations, the thrashing of a wounded fish from a great distance. Around its snout are thousands of receptor pores that read the faint electrical signals given off by the contracting muscles of any living creature. That means prey lying motionless, buried in sand, still can't hide. Its beating heart alone gives it away. And when every sense converges on a single target, what awaits the prey is the jaw. Rows upon rows of serrated, triangular teeth, sharp as scalpels, stacked one behind the other. A broken tooth is instantly replaced by the one behind it. A single shark can go through thousands of teeth in its lifetime. That jaw doesn't bite to hold, it bites to sever. Combined with a violent shake of the head, every strike becomes a living saw blade, tearing through skin, fat, and bone. All of it serves a single tactic. One strike that built this species' legend. The ambush from below. It doesn't run down its prey over long distances. It stalks, calculates, then launches straight upward. Its skin tells a story of camouflage, too. A slate dark back, a bright white belly, an ancient trick of the ocean. Seen from above, the dark back dissolves into the depths. Seen from below, the white belly disappears into the sunlit surface. The hunter is nearly invisible from every angle. Prey usually senses the danger only in its final moment. Just off the shore of False Bay, a rocky outcrop rises from the sea, Seal Island. Tens of thousands of Cape Fur seals are crammed onto its rocks. Loud, thick with the smell of life. Every day, to feed, they must leave the island and swim out into deep water. And to come home, they must cross that same open stretch again. That stretch of water has a nickname, the Ring of Death, because it's where the kings lie in wait. Dawn, hunting hour. The low light hides the shark's shadow, while silhouetting every seal against the sky. Deep below, a great white circles slowly, head tilted upward, eyes scanning the small shapes, breaking the surface. A young seal drifts away from the group. Alone. A mistake. The shadow locks onto its target. Then it does something almost unbelievable for a creature weighing nearly 2 tons. It rockets straight up, tearing clear of the surface, prey in its jaws. This launch has a name, the breach, a moment when a colossal mass of muscle hangs suspended in midair, defying gravity. Most of the time, it's over on the first strike. Impact and jaws come down together, and the prey drops before it even understands what happened. Nowhere on Earth puts the great white's power on more vivid display. False Bay was once the greatest stage on the planet for great white sharks, where hundreds of individuals returned reliably year after year. As long as the seal colony endured, their throne seemed like it would never be shaken. Then something strange began to happen. Season after season, great white sightings grew rarer until they had all but vanished from the bay. No carcasses, no outbreak of disease, just waters, once thick with predators, gone strangely silent. What could make the animal crowned king of the ocean abandon its own kingdom? The answer doesn't come from the deep, and it doesn't come from a bigger shark. It comes from a creature that isn't even a fish. The orca is the largest member of the dolphin family. A male can reach 30 feet long and weigh over 6 tons, 3 times the mass of a great white shark. But their most fearsome weapon isn't their size. It's their brain. They hunt in groups, use tactics, and learn. The secret rests on a strange vulnerability. Flip a shark onto its back, and it falls into a trance-like paralysis. The phenomenon is called tonic immobility. A creature that powerful suddenly lies still, helpless, as if sinking into a deep sleep. Ramming and rolling it until they flip their prey upside down. The prey slips into paralysis. The hunt is all but over. What stuns scientists is the chilling precision of it. The orcas bring down a great white shark just to eat its energy-rich liver. From carcasses washing ashore to footage capturing the hunts firsthand, the truth is now clear. The king of the ocean is not invincible. Faced with a smarter rival, the great whites have chosen to flee, abandoning entire stretches of water that were once their territory. This spectacular overthrow leaves behind one enormous question. If strength and size don't make a king of the ocean, then who does the throne truly belong to? Start with raw bite force. And here, an unlikely challenger steps forward far smaller, but with a bite stronger than the king's. The bull shark, about 11 feet long, weighing only a fraction of the king, its body built stocky and solid like a wrestler's. Pound for pound, it has the strongest bite ever measured among sharks. At the rear of the jaw, scaled for its body size, that force is the equivalent of roughly 1,300 pounds, outperforming both the great white and the hammerhead on that same relative scale. And yet it weighs only a fraction of either of those animals. Ounce for ounce, this is the most fearsome bite in the ocean. It's also one of the most aggressive species, with some of the highest levels of aggression-linked hormones recorded. It doesn't retreat, it charges straight in. Yet what truly makes it unique isn't its jaw. It's where it dares to go places no other large shark can follow. Most sharks die if they leave salt water. The bull shark is different. It breaks that rule entirely. Thanks to specialized salt regulation in its kidneys and rectal gland, it can live in fresh water for months at a time. It swims up great rivers, deep into the interior of continents. Bull sharks have been found hundreds of miles from the sea, in rivers and lakes where no one would ever expect a shark to survive. That opens up a second kingdom entirely. The great white is confined to salt water. The bull shark hunts in both worlds. On the axis of raw power and sheer nerve, this first challenger scores its point. A stronger bite than the king. A farther reach than the king. Yet ruling isn't only about biting hard. A true king also rules through reach. And on that axis, another challenger steps forward, carrying a menu that's practically limitless. The tiger shark. Up to 16 feet long, weighing around 2,000 pounds, marked with faint, tiger-like stripes as a juvenile. If the bull shark is a specialist, the tiger shark is the greatest generalist of them all. Its stomach has been found holding almost anything imaginable. Sea turtles, seabirds, fish, sea snakes, whale carcasses, even human trash. People call it the garbage can of the sea. That lack of pickiness is a strength. When picky eaters falter as their prey disappears, the tiger shark simply changes its menu and carries on. But its true role reveals itself not in what it eats, but in how it changes its prey's behavior. In Shark Bay, off the coast of Australia, tiger sharks hunt sea turtles and dugongs. Grazers of the seagrass meadows on the seafloor. Wherever a tiger shark is prowling, turtles and dugongs don't dare graze in one spot for long. Fear forces them to keep moving. The hunter's presence alone is what keeps the seagrass meadows healthy. And those meadows sustain countless other creatures. This is an idea that will return to haunt the end of this story. An apex predator doesn't just kill, it shapes an entire seascape. Remove the tiger shark, and the grazers strip the seagrass bare, shaking the whole ecosystem. The king, it turns out, is a keeper of balance. A king's reach, then, isn't measured by how far it swims, but by the fate of every species that depends on it. On this axis, the tiger shark leaves the king far behind. Two challengers have made their case, but there are still axes of power neither has touched. The next axis, the senses. And here, the crown belongs to the strangest head in the ocean. The great hammerhead. Some individuals weigh over 1,000 pounds, crowned with a structure unlike anything else in the ocean. A flat, wide head shaped like a hammer called a cephalofoil. It looks clumsy at first glance, though it's a highly sophisticated detection device. With an eye at each end, it achieves nearly a full 360-degree field of view. It can see above and below at the same time. That head is also packed with electroreceptors, sweeping the seafloor like a metal detector. And its favored prey is a master of concealment. Stingrays, buried in the sand, all but invisible. A stingray lies motionless, drained of color, hidden. Yet its beating heart still sends a faint electrical pulse through the sand. The hammer-shaped head picks up the signal. The hammerhead circles, locks the position. It uses that broad head to pin the stingray to the seafloor, pressing it into the sand before twisting around to bite. This is domination of an entirely different kind. Not strength, not size, information. It wins because it knows what nothing else can know. The deeper the descent, the more the ocean rewrites its own rules. Light vanishes entirely, temperatures drop to near freezing, and down here, time itself moves to a different rhythm. The Greenland shark. Over 20 feet long, weighing more than 2,000 pounds a match for the great white in size. Yet it doesn't hunt with speed. It swims at under 1 mile an hour, so slow it's earned the nickname the sleeper shark. In water that hovers around 34 to 39 degrees Fahrenheit, every rhythm of life slows down. Most individuals are nearly blind, their corneas worn away by a parasite. And yet this slow, half-blind creature holds a record no other vertebrate on Earth can match. By measuring radioactive isotopes in the lens of its eye, scientists have confirmed it as the longest living vertebrate ever recorded. One individual is estimated to have lived at least 272 years. The largest may be pushing 400. A Greenland shark swimming today may have been born before the founding of the United States. And here's the most staggering detail of all. A Greenland shark doesn't reach sexual maturity until around 156 years old, a century and a half, just to be ready to have young. If the great white rules through the kill, this one rules through time. It doesn't need to win a single confrontation. It just needs to outlive everything else. Deeper still, where sunlight has never once reached, another strange ruler holds court not through strength, but through endurance in absolute darkness. The goblin shark. Living at depths of 2,000 to over 4,000 feet, it's so rarely seen that it was once dismissed as a myth. Its skin is so thin and translucent that the blood vessels beneath show through, giving its body an eerie, pale pink glow in the black water. Its long, flattened snout is covered in electroreceptors, tracking the pulse of prey in darkness where eyes are useless. And when prey ventures close enough, it unleashes the trait that has astonished science the most: jaws that catapult forward like a slingshot. The lower jaw shoots out of the mouth faster than in any other shark, snapping shut around its prey before it can react. In a place with no light, no seasons, nothing worth fighting over, the crown doesn't go to the strongest, it goes to whoever simply endures. Up to this point, every definition of a king has revolved around one thing: the capacity to deal death. Meet the creature that shatters that definition completely. The largest fish alive on the planet today. The whale shark. A shape 40 feet long, with the largest individuals reaching nearly 60 feet and weighing up to 20 tons. Many times the size of a great white shark. If size alone made a king, then this, beyond question, would be the supreme ruler. When it glides past, the divers beside it look like specks of dust. A mouth nearly 5 feet wide opens like a gate. Instinct says a mouth that size must belong to the most fearsome hunting machine of all. That instinct is completely wrong. Because the whale shark has barely any teeth worth mentioning. It doesn't bite, it doesn't tear, it doesn't chase. It's a gentle filter feeder. It drifts along slowly, mouth wide open. drawing in an immense volume of water. Then it filters out the smallest of creatures, plankton, fish eggs, tiny shrimp. The largest creature in the ocean survives on nearly the smallest. A giant, sustained by specks of life barely the size of a pinhead. Its skin is nearly 4 inches thick, among the thickest in the animal kingdom, a soft armor that needs no weapon at all. Across its dark gray skin are countless white spots, arranged in a pattern unique to every individual, a living fingerprint, and no two alike. And it is entirely harmless to humans. A diver can swim right alongside this giant and come away completely unharmed. This is the greatest reversal in the entire story. The largest fish in the open ocean isn't a killer at all. It's a gentle wanderer. Dawn has not yet touched the crowns of the acacia trees when a roar tears through the stillness of the savannah. It carries 5 miles across the tawny grassland, rolling over the plains like a declaration of war that no living creature can afford to ignore. Every animal on the Serengeti hears it. This is not a rallying cry. It is an unmistakable warning that this land already has a master. On the vast African savanna, power never belongs to anyone forever. Many factions, many strategies, but only one rule endures: adapt or vanish. A lion roars at dawn. Less than an hour later, hyenas have arrived to contest the claim. An elephant walks through and everything falls silent. Within that endless turning, every battle begins with the simplest of things: space to survive. And the first to stake a claim over this vast territory is always the same species. Among all the great cats of the genus Panthera, the lion is the only one that lives in social groups. A pride, typically comprising 5 to 15 individuals, is built from related females, their young, and 1 to 4 adult males. It is the most complex social unit in the entire cat family, where every member's role has been shaped by millions of years of evolution. The males hold territorial control. They patrol, they mark with urine, with scent glands, and with their roar a sound that can be heard up to 5 miles away. A male lion's roar reaches an intensity of 114 decibels, equivalent to a close crack of thunder. A remarkable laryngeal structure featuring square-shaped soft tissue allows them to produce deeply resonant sound without requiring enormous lung pressure. It is a message sent to every nomadic male in the region that this land already has a guardian. But the power of the male lion has its limits. On average, a coalition holds its territory for just 2 to 4 years before being overthrown by younger, stronger rivals. When a new coalition invades a territory, the confrontation is direct and ferocious. If the resident males fail, the consequences are absolute. Loss of territory, loss of the pride females, loss of the cubs. While the males wage war for the throne, the females are the true hunting force. They carry out roughly 80 to 90% of all hunts for the pride. Their coordinated pack tactics allow them to read one another's positions through pure instinct, encircling prey from multiple angles without any visible signal. Success rates hover around 25% for a lone huntress, but rise to approximately 30% when they hunt as a group. Those figures may sound modest, but on the savannah, they are more than enough to sustain an entire pride. And among the most common prey, there is one animal that appears small but is anything but easy to catch: the warthog. The warthog Phacochuerus africanus weighs on average between 130 and 175 pounds, armed with curved tusks up to 2 feet long that can inflict devastating injuries. A rustle in the grass. A lioness presses herself flat against the earth, inching toward a warthog, rooting in the soil, utterly unaware of the danger closing in. Then she launches. The warthog reacts in a heartbeat. But on the savannah, being 1 second too slow is a debt paid with your life. Every lion born on these plains must learn the same lesson. Power is never given, power must be seized, and keeping it is harder still. But lions are not the only species that wages war on this savannah. They are nearly 5 times smaller than a lion. No mane, no roar. But the African wild dog Lycaon pictus commands a hunting success rate of 80%. For comparison, lions achieve just 25, leopards 38, cheetahs 58. The secret lies in a relay pursuit strategy. At speeds of 44 miles per hour, they take turns chasing their quarry across mile after mile of open ground. When the lead dog tires, the one behind instantly takes over. The prey is never allowed to rest until it collapses from sheer exhaustion. A pack typically numbers 6 to 20 individuals, led by a single alpha pair. But unlike lions, decisions here belong to the collective. In 2017, the journal Proceedings of the Royal Society B documented a behavior never before observed: voting by sneezing. When enough pack members sneeze, the entire group decides to launch the hunt. And there is one more thing that sets them apart entirely. The young eat first. The adults eat last. In a world where every species prioritizes the strong, African wild dogs prioritize the future. Only about 6,600 individuals remain in the wild. The IUCN classifies them as endangered. Every pack that disappears is a perfect ecological machine lost to force that controls prey populations, keeping the grasslands from being overwhelmed. But on the savannah, there is no room for mourning. Only those who adapt survive, and the wild dogs are still adapting. Day by day, pack by pack, hunt by hunt. Yet not every creature on the savannah lives by fang and claw. One species has chosen an entirely opposite strategy to stand taller than everything else and to see farther than everything else. The giraffe, Giraffa camelopardalis, the tallest land animal on Earth. A mature bull stands 19 feet tall and weighs nearly 2,800 pounds. Its heart weighs 25 pounds, pumping blood up to the brain through a 6-foot neck at twice the blood pressure of a human being. Their blood pressure reaches 230/180, a reading that would cause a stroke in any person. Yet, a remarkable system of one-way valves within the jugular veins prevents blood from rushing back to the head each time the animal lowers itself to drink. And drinking, that is the single most dangerous moment. Front legs splayed apart, field of vision drastically reduced. A lion needs only 3 seconds. Which is why giraffes rarely drink at all. Most of their water comes from acacia, leaves a food source that their extraordinary neck allows them to access exclusively. In 2021, the journal Nature revealed that the giraffe is not one species, but 4 genetically distinct species, separated by hundreds of thousands of years of evolution. The total population across Africa has declined by 40% in just 3 decades, a silent extinction unfolding with remarkably little attention. They stand taller than any other creature. They see farther than any other creature. But seeing far cannot save them from the slow disappearance of the very ground beneath their feet. The greatest battle on the Serengeti does not begin with a roar. It begins with the thunder of hooves. More than 1.5 million wildebeest, alongside hundreds of thousands of zebra and gazelle, move as a single living river stretching to the horizon. This is the largest land migration still occurring on Earth. Thousands of miles each year, crossing rivers, scorched grasslands, and the territories of every predator along the way. Seen from above, the migration resembles an enormous artery coursing through the body of the savannah, carrying life, carrying death, and carrying renewal to every place it touches. But this river of life is not chaotic. It follows an ancient order that scientists call grazing succession. Zebra move first, consuming the tallest, coarsest grasses. Wildebeest follow behind, grazing the fresh new shoots that emerge. Gazelle arrive last, picking the finest remnants closest to the ground. Like a natural 3-tiered mowing machine, they transform the landscape as they pass. Soil is churned, seeds are buried, nutrients are redistributed for the season to come. No agricultural system ever designed by humans achieves that efficiency. Nature perfected this system long before humanity learned to plow a field. No single species commands this order. It arose through millions of years of evolution, each species finding its own niche, its own way to eat, to live, to avoid direct competition with the others. But that order comes at a cost. Thousands of individuals every year never complete the journey, felled by exhaustion, by disease, by predators. And their deaths sustain the entire ecosystem. In the midst of the migration, the calving season erupts. A newborn wildebeest must stand within minutes of birth and run within 15. There is no grace period for learning about the world. Stand or die. That is the first lesson, and the only one. The mother turns to lick her calf clean, erasing any scent that might betray them to a hunter. But on the open savanna, where the grass barely reaches a knee, hiding is very nearly impossible. Thousands of calves are born at once, not by accident, but by an evolutionary strategy tested over millions of years. Predators cannot kill them all, so the majority will survive. Sheer numbers are the defense. And it is the movement of these millions of prey animals that serves as the catalyst, the spark, for every conflict on the savanna. The cheetah is evolution's answer through pure, uncompromising speed. Its body is a masterpiece, sculpted over millions of years for a single purpose: to reach 70 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. But that speed can only be sustained for roughly 20 seconds. After that, its body temperature soars toward a critical threshold, and the cheetah must stop even if the prey is still within sight. "20 seconds. That is the entire window between life and death, between a meal and hunger." A spine as flexible as a coiled spring. Non-retractable claws gripping the earth like the spikes of a sprinter's shoe. A long tail acting as a counterbalance through high-speed turns. Every detail of this body serves speed and speed alone. In exchange, it has sacrificed strength. It has sacrificed endurance. After roughly 3 months of gestation, a mother cheetah faces nature's cruelest dilemma. Leave her cubs to hunt, or stay to protect them and starve? The cubs lie hidden in the tall grass, scentless, virtually invisible. But virtually on the Serengeti still means they can die. Hyenas, eagles, lions, even leopards, all pose lethal threats to cheetah cubs. The mother must leave to hunt, but every minute she is gone is a gamble with her cubs' lives. And even when the hunt succeeds, when 70 miles per hour has brought down an impala, the fastest animal on the planet still cannot eat. Because the scent of blood travels faster than the wind across the open grassland, and hyenas, or lions, nearly always arrive in time to steal the prize. The leopard is evolution's answer through intelligence and calculation. Where the cheetah uses speed to catch prey and then loses it, the leopard uses patience to catch and keep. It lives alone. It hunts alone, it eats alone, it shares nothing with anyone. It marks its territory with scent and claw marks scored deep into tree bark, a silent warning to all trespassers. A flawless ambush, a precise leap, finished in silence. But the most extraordinary thing is not the hunt, it is what happens the moment the prey falls. A leopard drags a kill weighing 3 times its own body weight into a tree, not out of habit but as a survival strategy refined through countless generations. On the branches, lions cannot reach it, hyenas cannot climb. The kill is secure, and the meal can last for days without a single rival laying claim to it. The clever outlast the strong. That is a lesson the Serengeti teaches again and again, yet one that few in this arena ever truly learn. Two species, the same war, the same territory, but two strategies in complete opposition. Speed traded for vulnerability, Intelligence traded for solitude. And both survive because both have found their own niche in the labyrinth of power that governs this savanna. Speed and intelligence, two different answers to the same question. And both are right. But there is one place on the migration route where neither speed nor intelligence offers any help at all. A place where every rule of the land is erased entirely. A few hundred miles to the west, the migration is approaching that very threshold. The Mara River cuts across the savanna like a scar, narrow but deep, placid on the surface but deadly beneath. Thousands of wildebeest crowd together on the steep bank, jostling, trampling one another, yet none willing to be the first to go in. Instinct holds them back on the high ground. And that instinct is entirely correct, because death is waiting below. Beneath the murky water, Nile crocodiles, individuals exceeding 16 feet in length, weighing close to a ton, have already taken their positions. They have lain motionless for weeks, even months, waiting for precisely this moment. No creature on earth is more patient than a crocodile. They can go without food for months on end, simply waiting for a feast they know with absolute certainty will arrive. Then, one wildebeest leaps, and like an avalanche, thousands follow. Chaos. The water boils with thousands of thrashing legs. Dust rises in great clouds. Panicked cries echo across the valley. The first into the water swim desperately. Those behind are pushed in by the sheer pressure of thousands more pressing from the rear. No one chooses their position. Everything is decided by fate. In the water, there are no lions, no hyenas, no pack, no pride, no herd that can protect you. Every rule of the terrestrial world is wiped clean in a matter of seconds. Only the crocodile remains a creature that has survived virtually unchanged for more than 200 million years. It never needed to evolve further. The original design was already perfect. Each strike lasts less than a second. The jaws close with one of the most powerful bite forces in the entire animal kingdom, and they never let go. But the Mara holds more threats than crocodiles alone. The swift current, the slick and treacherous banks, and the crushing pressure of thousands of bodies pushing against one another, all of these kill. Many drown before a crocodile ever reaches them. Those that make it across crawl up the muddy far bank, shattered with exhaustion but alive. Behind them, the bodies of the less fortunate feed crocodiles, fish, vultures, and hundreds of other species. Nothing is wasted on the Serengeti. The death of one species is the meal of another. That wheel never stops turning. The Maasai have a saying, "The land belongs to no one. We are all merely passing through." The Mara River proves it with every migration. And even on the far bank, the battle is not over. A pride of lions waits ready to welcome the exhausted survivors emerging from the river. Nowhere on the Serengeti is truly safe. In the struggle for power on the savannah, size does not always determine the victor. There is a creature weighing a mere 25 pounds smaller than an average domestic dog, yet recognized by the Guinness World Records as the most fearless animal in the world. The honey badger. The name sounds harmless. The reality is anything but. Its hide is roughly 1/4 of an inch thick, and it hangs loosely around the body, causing the fangs and claws of attackers to slide off without purchase. It is nearly impossible to pin down. It is immune to the venom of most snakes. Gets bitten, collapses unconscious for about 2 hours, then wakes up and finishes eating the snake, as though nothing happened. It tears apart beehives, enduring thousands of stings to gorge on honey and larvae. The name honey badger was born from precisely that reckless habit. And here is what may be most remarkable of all. Both lions and leopards, two of the most powerful land predators on Earth, routinely avoid it. Not because they fear defeat, but because the cost of fighting a honey badger far exceeds any possible reward. It will bite, claw, twist, and counterattack without pause until one side gives up and walks away. £25 of muscle and bone, wrapped in a hide that even a lion's fangs struggle to puncture. That is not bravery, it is a survival strategy, honed to perfection by evolution itself. In the power struggle of the savannah, the honey badger needs no size, no speed, only the refusal to be afraid. It walks through the territories of every species, attacks anything that stands in its way, then vanishes into the grass as though it were never there at all. And that may well be the most primitive, yet most effective strategy that evolution has ever produced. But the greatest battle on this savannah belongs neither to the smallest nor to the solitary. On land, an army is assembling in the open. They communicate through dozens of distinct vocalizations, move in coordinated groups, and outnumber any lion pride. The spotted hyena, a name forever burdened with the image of a scavenger, a creature that merely picks over what lions leave behind. But that is the greatest and most persistent misconception on the African savannah. Spotted hyenas are not carrion feeders. They are endurance hunters, capable of pursuing prey across mile after mile without slowing down. And their society operates by a rule that no other large predator employs: absolute matriarchy. Every female outranks every male, no exceptions. The smallest female in the clan still holds more authority than the largest male. The matriarch, the dominant female, controls every critical decision: when to hunt, where to rest, who eats first, who must wait. Her power does not come from physical strength, it comes from experience, from a reputation built over many years. Their communication system is so sophisticated that every sound carries a distinct message: a whoop to summon the clan, a giggle signaling excitement, a low groan expressing submission. The young learn everything through observation and play. There are no lessons, only practice. From the moment they open their eyes, they know who holds power in the clan. And a spotted hyena clan can number 30, 40, even more than 60 individuals. That strength in numbers is something no lion pride can match. When the clan moves, the ground trembles. When the clan attacks, nothing on the savannah can look away. This is where the ultimate confrontation, the climax of every conflict, unfolds. Under the blazing midday sun, a lioness is enjoying her kill. And the hyena clan has caught the scent from a distance. They appear. They do not rush, they encircle, slowly tightening the ring, each individual maintaining just enough distance to avoid being singled out. And then the lioness retreats, not in flight, simply backing away, surrendering the meal she herself brought down. At midday, while lions and hyenas are still locked in their dispute, an enormous silhouette appears on the horizon. The matriarch, the eldest cow, leads her family toward the last remaining waterhole of the dry season. She has lived more than 40 years, and her memory is the most precise survival map on the entire savannah. She knows where water lies when everything else has dried to dust. She remembers every path, every drought, every danger, decades of experience passed down through generations of matriarchs. When the elephants reach the waterhole, everything yields. No roar required, no threat displayed. The elephant's trunk, a structure containing more than 40,000 muscle fascicles, stretching roughly 6.5 feet in length, is the single most versatile tool in the natural world. Strong enough to snap a branch as thick as a man's handspan. Delicate enough to pluck a tiny seed from the ground. Strength and precision coexisting within a single biological structure, something that modern robotics has still not managed to replicate. Elephants do not need to hunt. They do not need to steal kills. They do not need to roar. They do not need to threaten. They need only arrive. Absolute power requires no display, no proof. Presence is enough. And perhaps that is the true answer to the question, who rules the savannah? Not the loudest, not the most numerous, but the one before whom all others step aside of their own accord. Yet even elephants, these colossal beings before whom the entire savannah shows deference, are steadily losing their living space to human encroachment. The dry season will pass, the rains will come, territories will be redrawn, and the battle will begin all over again. But that cycle can only continue as long as every link in the chain remains intact. The question is not who wins. The question is, how long can this system survive when humanity itself is rewriting the rules? The African wild dog, the most efficient hunter, the most democratic society, numbers only about 6,600 individuals in the wild. The IUCN classifies them as endangered. The lion, whose roar once carried across every savanna, is now listed as vulnerable. Populations are declining severely across the continent. The cheetah evolution's masterpiece of speed also vulnerable, their numbers shrinking on the very lands where they once ran free. The leopard, the most intelligent, the most adaptable, is not spared either. Vulnerable. The common enemy of all is not a rival hyena, not a competing lion, not even the merciless dry season. The enemy is the relentless shrinking of living space as human civilization expands into land that for millions of years belonged to these wild creatures. Fences surrounding farmland sever migration corridors that have existed for millennia. Livestock replace antelope on the grasslands. Conflict between humans and wildlife escalates each year with no sign of abating. The battle for space, the same battle that wild dogs have already lost to lions, is now one that every species is losing to a force that no fang or claw can resist. But the Serengeti is still here, still vast, still wild, and every day the wheel still turns. The sun rises, a lion roars to declare his territory. Less than an hour later, hyenas arrive to challenge the claim. At noon, an elephant passes through and everything steps aside. The wild dogs still sneeze their votes each morning, still let the young eat first, still run their relays across the miles, even as their packs grow smaller. The cheetah still fires off at 70 miles per hour and still loses the kill. The leopard still drags its prey into the trees and still dines alone. Power rotates without ceasing. No one wins forever. Nature does not create kings, nature creates balance among all. And that balance is more fragile than any player in this contest realizes. The sun scorches the African plains. The prolonged dry season has transformed the grasslands into a carpet of burnt gold, where every drop of water becomes a reason to kill. This is the Savannah, a realm governed by no law but the law of the strong. Or at least, that is what most people believe. A lone lioness breaks away from her pride. She has not eaten in 3 days, and hunger is driving her toward a desperate gamble. The target, a male zebra grazing less than 165 feet away. Simple enough if the lion were truly invincible. "60% of a lion's musculature consists of fast twitch fibers, enabling an explosive surge from stillness to 37 miles per hour in just a few strides. Yet a lion's heart accounts for merely 0.5% of its body weight, a powerful engine, but one that cannot sustain. The chase must end within 30 seconds, or the hunter becomes the loser. The lioness launches into a burst of speed. Those hundreds of interlocking black and white stripes serve not as camouflage amid the grass, but to generate motion, dazzle, a visual illusion at high speed. Through the hunter's eyes, the zebra's body outline blurs, making it impossible to calculate the precise distance and timing for a decisive strike. The hunter halts, panting heavily, and concedes defeat. A solitary lioness succeeds only 17 to 19% of the time. The apex of the food chain fails 4 out of every 5 attempts. Welcome to Nature's Moments, where we explore the grandest mysteries of the natural world. The savannah harbors no permanent ruler. Today's predator may become tomorrow's prey. The strongest is not necessarily the one in control. Across these plains, 3 powers vie for dominion: the lion through brute strength, the spotted hyena through sheer numbers, and the Cape buffalo through unyielding endurance. who truly holds power? The answer will challenge everything once assumed about the savannah. But before the battle begins, the defeated hunter must eat. And this time, she does not hunt alone. Failure against the zebra is not an ending. It is the genesis of a far more dangerous decision. The lioness returns to her pride. Hunger has stretched across 3 days. The cubs grow weaker. The pride needs a substantial kill. And a massive target stands directly ahead. A giraffe, a mobile tower rising nearly 20 feet, weighing close to 2 tons. A single body sufficient to sustain the entire pride for 3 to 4 days. But the giraffe is no easy quarry. Its kick sweeps a 6.5-foot arc force enough to crush the skull of any predator foolish enough to approach. This is the moment instinct yields to strategy. Lions are not mercenaries, they operate as a coordinated unit. Stander's 1992 research revealed that each lioness within a pride holds a fixed tactical role, coordinating with the precision of players on a football pitch. Through a calculated encirclement and ambush point, the pride harnesses collective power to bring the 2-ton tower crashing to the ground. The feast begins. 2 males eat first, the privilege of beasts exceeding 420 pounds, crowned with thick, dark manes, markers of elevated testosterone, superior nutrition, and exceptional fighting prowess. The lionesses wait. They have done all the work, yet the law of the pride is not the law of fairness. It is the law of strength. Blood seeps into the parched earth. The scent of flesh drifts far on the hot wind. On the savannah, no meal remains a secret. And the most astute scavengers of the plains have been listening for some time. The kill has scarcely cooled when laughter erupts from the darkness. Not the laughter of joy, but a rallying signal for war. The spotted hyena, a creature many dismiss as a lowly scavenger, that assumption is profoundly wrong. Unlike lions, hyena society is governed by an absolute matriarchy. The The smallest female in the clan outranks the largest male. Here, bloodline and female solidarity forge the power behind every siege. Spotted hyenas rank among the savanna's most persistent hunters, succeeding 25 to 40% of the time, with well-coordinated groups reaching 74% under ideal conditions. The hyena's power resides not in speed. It lies in its jaws, a bite force approaching 1,012 pounds. Force double that of a lion, sufficient to splinter a buffalo's femur into fragments. Their stomachs secrete acid with a pH near 1 so potent that bone, hoof, even teeth dissolve within hours. Nothing goes to waste. A few hundred yards from the pride, 3 lion cubs lie concealed in dense brush, eyes still clouded, legs still trembling. They do not yet know they were born into a war. Lion cubs enter the world in a state of complete dependence, altricial, as science terms it. Blind, feeble, weighing under 4.5 pounds, 50 to 60% of them will not survive their first year. The enemies, not merely hyenas, not merely buffalo. Sometimes the savanna itself, sun, thirst, disease, proves the most silent killer of all. For the first 3 months, mother's milk is everything. After that, raw meat takes its place, and the lessons of survival commence. But before learning to hunt, they must learn to live. The mother relocates her cubs, constantly shifting hiding spots every 2 to 3 days, so scent cannot accumulate, so hyenas and buffalo cannot track them. When the cubs grow strong enough to follow the pride, true training begins. And the mother's teaching methods are ruthless in their effectiveness. The lioness does not teach through theory. She brings back live prey, small, wounded antelope, and releases them before her cubs, learning through combat. The throat bite technique passes down through each practice session. The precise placement, the angle of the jaw, the exact pressure to suffocate without squandering energy. With each failure, the jaw muscles develop a fraction more. With each missed pounce, the claws sharpen further. Muscle and instinct are forged through combat, not inherited through genes. The males play a surprising role in this process. Bulls weighing nearly 440 pounds lie motionless, feigning weakness, allowing cubs to leap upon them, claw, and practice biting. This is not play. This is training. The young learn to gauge an opponent's size and find vulnerabilities on a body 100 times larger than their own. Two years. That is the threshold. If a young lion cannot hunt independently before the age of 2, it will starve. No exceptions. Jaw muscles, claws, leg power, all develop through each real encounter. Genetics does not bestow strength. Life itself forges the predator. But while the mother is occupied training her young, an enemy has been watching silently from afar. And that enemy knows precisely what the lion refuses to acknowledge. Today's cubs will become tomorrow's killers. The Cape buffalo, 2,000 pounds, hide nearly an inch thick, curved horns sweeping backward, their bases fusing into a solid shield of bone across the forehead. Cape buffalo do not operate alone. Perched upon their backs rides a living radar network, the oxpecker. The piercing alarm call of these birds serves as an early warning system, signaling a lurking predator in the tall grass long before the buffalo can see it. Hunters have bestowed upon them a singular title, Black Death. Yet, raw physical power is not the buffalo's most formidable weapon. What makes them a lion's nightmare is memory. Cape buffalo possess long-term scent memory. They remember the scent of lions. They remember where lions once rested. They remember the wind direction that carried the scent of danger. The old bull's dagger boys separate from the main herd, forming bands of 3 to 5. They do not search for grass, they search for lions. During daylight, while lions sleep, dagger boys begin to track, nostrils pressed to the earth, reading every scent signal. If they detect lion scent, they do not flee, they advance. The target. Lion cubs, not adult males, not full-grown lionesses. The young, vulnerable, slow, incapable of resistance. The buffalo comprehend this, and they act upon that understanding, a form of strategic thinking that science has only recently begun to document. Herds in high lion density areas develop stronger mobbing responses, with sentinels consistently facing downwind, a learned behavior requiring 2 to 3 generations to establish. This is not mere instinct. This is a defensive culture transmitted from one generation to the next, much as humans pass down the lessons of war. Periquet's 2012 study in PLOS 1 confirmed Cape buffalo are the lion's primary prey, yet simultaneously the leading cause of lion mortality inflicted by prey species. Predator and prey. The boundary between these two concepts on the savannah is thinner than a blade's edge. Valex in 2009 documented that Cape buffalo alter their behavior according to the landscape of fear. They avoid areas frequented by lions, even when the grass there grows taller, thicker, and richer. Fear shapes the migration map of the entire herd. But fear also breeds action, and the buffalo's response is not flight, it is attack. Lions are not the only ones who covet Cape buffalo. Spotted hyenas armed with bone-crushing jaws and pack tactics also test their fortune. But 154 pounds confronting 2,000 pounds demands an entirely different equation. Hyenas never attack head-on. They select their target, the elderly, the sick, the isolated individuals no longer shielded by the collective. The siege begins. This time, the hyena pack targets a young buffalo calf, deploying numerical pressure to grind down stamina and sever the calf from the herd. But they have collided with an immovable barrier, the mother buffalo. An absolute protective instinct fused with a colossal muscular frame stands resolute, neutralizing every attempt to close the ring. Before the lethal horns of Black Death, the hyena clan recognizes that the price of this meal is far too steep. They know when to retreat, and this, unmistakably, is that moment. Retreat is not cowardice. Retreat is survival. On the savannah, the maternal fury of Cape buffalo stands as an unbreakable fortress, powerful enough to repel even the continent's most formidable bone-crushing jaws. The hyena's battle ends here, but the war within the buffalo herd has only just begun. Each mating season, the savannah trembles with a sound born not from lions or hyenas, but from deep within the buffalo herd itself. Two bulls charge headlong at one another, 30 miles per hour, no swerving, no slowing, skull meets skull. The horn boss, a fused shield of bone, is evolution's answer to precisely this moment. In mature bulls, the boss fuses completely by the age of 9, forming a plate of bone nearly 2 inches thick. Beneath the surface lies trabecular bone, a honeycomb lattice of struts measuring 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch tall, roughly 1/4 inch in diameter. This architecture disperses impact force laterally, preventing it from driving straight into the brain. Research by Farker in 2008 revealed that the boss is not built for ramming but for locking. Two bulls interlock horns, twist, wrench, and force each other down through sheer neck muscle power. These contests last for hours. Two bulls retreat, advance, lock, then break apart, rest, and clash again. Endurance decides the outcome, not a single devastating blow. The loser is driven from the herd, and a bull expelled from the herd becomes the easiest target for lions, solitary, exhausted, stripped of all protection. Defeated bulls often wander alone for weeks, wounds still raw, muscles spent. That is when the lions appear, always with impeccable timing. The battle within the herd determines who survives beyond it. On the savannah, losing in love can mean losing everything. Between the lion and the Cape buffalo, which do you believe holds greater influence over the savannah? Share your thoughts with Nature's Moments in the comments below. Daylight belongs to lions and Cape buffalo, but when darkness descends, Another war begins quieter, yet no less savage. The leopard, sovereign of the night, not the largest predator, not the strongest, but perhaps the most dangerous once the sun sinks below the horizon. Its rosette-patterned coat shatters the body's outline in shadow, transforming the leopard into a phantom among the thickets. Beneath its paw pads lies a dense cushion of fine fur. A leopard can tread across the brittle, sun-baked leaves of the dry season without producing even the faintest rustle. Fully retractable claws remain sheathed in motion, ensuring no scrape of talon on stone. Its silence is a weapon unto itself. It closes to within 16 feet of its prey before launching the strike. The preferred quarry, impala, a swift antelope with a fatal habit of bedding down near dense brush. A lethal miscalculation when the night's premier hunter lies barely 3 strides away. The leopard does not chase, it waits. A single explosive leap, jaws clamping down on the throat, and it is over before the prey comprehends what has happened. Absolute silence, not a sound to alert the rest of the herd. The leopard possesses the highest strength-to-body-weight ratio of any great cat, a remarkable feat of evolutionary engineering. It hauls prey 3 times its own weight into the treetops beyond the reach of every rival and scavenger below. This act of hoisting a kill into the canopy underscores a simple truth. On the savannah, keeping a meal matters more than making one. The leopard learned this lesson millions of years ago, long before the cheetah ever did. Night vision 7 to 8 times more powerful than a human's, thanks to the tapetum lucidum, a reflective mirror behind the retina. In total darkness, the leopard still sees. Its whiskers vibrissae function as electrostatic sensors, reading the air currents, detecting obstacles and prey without any need for sight. After nightfall, when vision ceases to be an advantage for others, the leopard becomes virtually invincible. Yet, one species refuses to accept the role of prey, and it has turned the conflict with the leopard into an arms race spanning millions of years. The baboon. Canines measuring 1 to 2 inches long, a lower jaw so powerful that a single bite from an adult male can inflict a fatal wound on a leopard. By day, baboons hold the upper hand. They move in large, vigilant troops. When a leopard is spotted, the males form a line, face the enemy head-on and charge. A mob attack erupts. Rocks hurled, branches flung, teeth bared in a coordinated onslaught. A lone baboon poses little threat, but a frenzied troop can kill a full-grown leopard. And what proves more chilling still, baboons do not merely defend, they retaliate. Upon discovering a leopard's den, they seek out and kill the cubs, waging war against the next generation. Leopards hunt baboons by night. Baboons kill leopard cubs by day. There is no clear victor in this conflict, only an unending escalation. This is no simple predator-prey relationship. This is a shadow war where both sides serve simultaneously as hunter and hunted. With each passing night, the boundary between predator and prey blurs a little further. But the greatest battle still lies ahead, and this time, the apex predator will pay with its very dignity. The loss of cubs, a wound that never heals on the savannah. And that wound transforms a lion pride into the most dangerous force on the grassland's predators, with nothing left to lose. The entire pride assembles. 6 females, 2 males. For the first time this season, the full pride marches to war. The target is neither antelope nor zebra. The target is Cape buffalo. This is not vengeance. It is a simple equation. A single Cape buffalo yields over 1,100 pounds of meat, enough to sustain the pride for days, enough to let the mothers produce milk for the surviving cubs. The lions select their target, a lone bull, separated from the herd. Perhaps a loser in the mating wars, or simply old and weakened. Whatever the cause, it stands alone, a fatal error on the savannah. Deploying a tight encirclement from multiple angles, the lionesses swiftly drive their quarry into an inescapable pincer. With no avenue of escape under the pride's relentless assault, the massive frame finally buckles and crashes to the earth. The feeding begins before the buffalo's last breath has left its body. On the savannah, there are no ceremonies for the vanquished. GPS data from Loveridge's 2022 study showed that lions inhabiting regions of high Cape buffalo density sustained injury rates 40% greater than prides in buffalo-scarce territories. Every buffalo hunt is a gamble, the reward immense. But the price may be shattered bones, crushed ribs, or death. The lions know this, yet hunger permits no margin for caution. Blood soaks into the soil. The copper scent of death drifts for miles. The fallen buffalo's cries have carried not on the wind, but through the collective memory of the entire herd. As darkness falls, the red dust of the pursuit slowly settles. The pride melts into the deep night, leaving behind an unfinished meal. No victory roar, no mane thrust proudly into the wind. Only hunters departing in silence, carrying a little less arrogance than they had at dawn. The war between lion and Cape buffalo produces no winner, only survivors and those who will return to the arena tomorrow. Lion or buffalo which truly commands the savannah? The answer may lie with neither. For across this vast grassland, there exists a power that transcends every battle. It has no fangs. It has no claws. It needs neither speed nor numbers, and no species, not even the lion or the Cape buffalo, can endure without it. Nearly 7 tons, 13 feet at the shoulder, ears broad as sails, fanning ceaselessly to shed heat beneath the midday sun. The African elephant, the largest land animal on Earth, takes no part in any war upon the savannah. It has no need to, for it is the architect of the stage upon which every battle unfolds. £440 of vegetation each day. Elephants consume trees, demolish thickets, topple massive trunks, and this seemingly destructive force opens the canopy, flooding the grasslands below with light. Grass flourishes, zebras arrive, Cape buffalo follow, and where prey gathers, lions come. The food chain begins with an elephant felling a tree. In the dry season, when every water source has vanished, elephants excavate wells in desiccated riverbeds. 4 feet scrape the earth. Trunks draw groundwater from deep below the surface. No blueprints, no maps. Only memory passed from one matriarch to the next, pinpointing precisely where groundwater lies, how deep it runs, and when to dig. Those wells sustain more than 20 other species. Zebras drink from elephant wells, antelope drink from elephant wells, even hyenas and leopards drink from elephant wells. Elephant dung disperses seeds up to 40 miles farther than any other mammal on the continent. "50% of those seeds travel more than 1.5 miles, ensuring forests and grasslands regenerate without end. Research by Bunny in 2022 found that landscapes shaped by elephants support 30% greater species diversity among small mammals and reptiles compared to regions without elephants. The matriarch carries within her memory a map of water, migration corridors, and recollections of droughts spanning decades past. Her memory serves as a living GPS for the entire herd. They communicate through infrasound frequencies too low for human ears, yet these signals travel more than 6 miles through the ground. Elephants speak with their feet, sensing vibrations through the soles. A 2026 study by Gijman and Palmer, published in Science, revealed a staggering truth. Remove elephants from an ecosystem and dung beetle populations collapse by 67%. Beetle species diversity drops by 23%. Dung decomposition slows by 35%. Without elephants, the unseen machinery of the savannah grinds to a halt. Elephants do not merely inhabit the savanna, they create it. Every tree toppled, every well excavated, every seed dispersed is a single brushstroke in the landscape that lions, Cape buffalo, hyenas, and every other species call home. Above every conflict stands a keeper of the stage. And should that stage collapse, every performer, predator and prey alike, vanishes with it. But the stage is crumbling, and this time the destroyer is neither Cape buffalo nor hyena. It is humanity. The lion, vulnerable. Roughly 23,000 individuals remain, extinct in 26 of 48 African nations. Only 5 populations exceed 1,000. The African elephant endangered since 2021. Approximately 415,000 individuals. Ivory poaching and habitat destruction drive this colossus closer to the edge with every passing year. The leopard, vulnerable globally, but endangered in West Africa since October 2025. A mere 354 mature individuals survive in the western reaches of the continent. 86 to 95% of their historic range has been lost. The true war is not between lion and Cape buffalo, not between leopard and baboon. The true war is waged between nature and the silent disappearance measured only in numbers. Each figure above represents a living, breathing individual hunting, fighting, struggling to survive. And each year, those numbers grow smaller. The savanna crowns no permanent ruler. The mightiest can be driven up a tree. The swiftest can be robbed of its kill. The most numerous can be repelled by a solitary bull. Yet one force without fangs, without claws, without horns is quietly rewriting every rule. And if that force does not relent, there will be no savanna left to fight over. On the African plains, the question is not who rules. The true question is how much time remains. Thank you for journeying with Nature's Moments. The natural world holds countless stories still waiting to be told. We look forward to seeing you on the next adventure. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. Every creature carries within it an extraordinary story, and Nature's Moments will continue bringing those stories to you. The fifth month of the dry season. Across the Masai Mara, the heat is no longer weather, it is pressure. A physical force bearing down on every living thing, wringing out every last drop of moisture, closing the gap between today and the final day. The grass died long ago. Only brittle stalks remain, collapsed across cracked earth like the bones of a land in its death throes. And in the middle of all this, a pride of lions lies beneath the sole remaining acacia within a 2-kilometer radius. In lion society, there is a truth that appearances often conceal. The male with his thick mane, massive frame, and a roar that carries 5 miles is the symbol of the pride. But symbols do not feed anyone. "90% of a lion pride's food comes from the females. They are 40% smaller than the males, nearly 150 pounds lighter, and precisely because of this, faster, more enduring, more agile in every stride of the chase. While the male defends territory and repels intruders, it is the females who keep the heart of the pride beating. Today, that heart must work twice as hard. The largest lioness in the pride, an old scar running the length of her muzzle from a hunt years ago, rises as the sun begins to angle westward. This is the moment. After hours of watching, the zebra herd has finally begun moving toward the eastern waterhole, and the hunters spring into action. The lead lioness stands, the others follow instantly, in absolute silence. Lionesses do not hunt with individual strength. They hunt through coordination, splitting directions, cutting off escape routes, and driving prey into fatal mistakes. The zebra herd is still drinking when tawny shapes begin to separate through the grass. The lead lioness locks her gaze on a zebra mare standing slightly apart from the herd. That is enough. The lead female explodes into a sprint. The herd detonates in chaos, but the zebra mare has already been cut off. She runs straight, and the lead lioness is already waiting ahead. The hunt ends just minutes after it began. Feeding order within a lion pride is never random. It is a social system enforced through strength and seniority. Normally, the male eats first, not because he hunted, but because no one is strong enough to stop him. But today, the male cannot arrive in time. He rises slowly, limping toward the carcass, and by the time he reaches it, the females have been eating for 15 minutes. They do not yield immediately. They continue feeding, heads buried in the carcass, eyes never lifting. This is a rare sight. And a necessary one, because the cubs are waiting behind them. If the females do not eat enough, there will be no milk, no strength to hunt tomorrow, nothing to hold this pride together one more day. Night falls swiftly on the savannah. The pride clusters around the carcass cubs, pressed tight against their mothers' bellies, the male lying apart on the outer edge, his hind legs stretched straight to ease the pressure on a swollen joint. And with the darkness, a cackling cry begins rising from the east. Spotted hyenas, the species most people still dismiss as scavengers, but that label is entirely wrong. Spotted hyenas are hunters, and not ordinary ones. Where lionesses hunt through ambush tactics, explosive bursts over short distances, concluded in minutes, hyenas hunt through endurance. They do not need to be faster than prey. They only need to last longer. A few miles from the lion pride, the hyena clan has launched its own hunt. Hyenas do not ambush. They charge straight out into the open and begin a long-distance pursuit. When the distance closes enough, the entire clan takes turns lunging in to bite and tear. Two styles of hunting, two entirely different philosophies, but the same result. On this savanna, no single tactic is universally correct, only the tactic suited to the creature that wields it. Dawn rises over the Masai Mara. The lion cubs scramble over their mother's back in the early light, carefree as though nothing happened the night before. And the lead female, the old scar on her muzzle, catching the morning sun, has already risen, gazing toward the horizon. No rest longer than necessary. Because the zebra herd is moving again. And the pride must eat again by this afternoon. On this savanna, no one is permitted to be merely a symbol. Everyone must work. And the ones who work most quietly are usually the ones keeping everything from falling apart. That is the law of the savanna. Amidst the darkness of the African savanna, a low growl sounds from the undergrowth. Not a lion, not a leopard. Instead, a creature weighing less than 35 pounds. A honey badger caught in the crushing coils of a rock python 3 times its length. The python constricts. Its massive coils of muscle tighten around the small body like a living vice. Using the 6 millimeters of thick, loose skin around its neck, it turns inside the python's grip, grinds its teeth on the reptile's scales, and tears until its enemy relents. And this is not the only story this land has to tell. Welcome to Nature's Moments, where we explore the most extraordinary stories of the natural world. We begin with exiled kings, seekers of a crown forged in blood and fire. On the southern edge of the Serengeti, where red basaltic earth cracks into deep fissures and the horizon burns under the African sun, three shadows move across the land. Not lone lions, not an ordinary pride. But a coalition forged in adversity, bound by an unspoken oath. There is no trace of youthful innocence in their eyes, only the hard resolve of those who have survived exile, defeat, and isolation. One leads, his black mane a battle flag, carrying the fury of one who seeks to reclaim what was stolen. At his side are his loyal warriors, each driven by a thirst for glory and tempered by life or death combat. Researchers estimate the reign of a male lion coalition typically lasts just 2 to 4 years before a younger, stronger group arrives to overthrow them. Every day is precious, every battle decisive. Together, they move like a tide of gold and fire, their paws leaving deep impressions in the dry earth. They seek more than prey. They seek a kingdom. On the Savannah, territory defines everything. No land, no pride, no legacy. Their path leads them into the heart of a territory long ruled by a solitary king, a ghost of a bygone era. Here, it is not speed that rules, but history and ancient ownership defended by instinct. As the coalition and the old ruler lock eyes, the plains fall silent. No words are needed. A low, rumbling growl rolls across the horizon. A challenge rings out, shattering the air like a thunderclap. And at last, after a crushing clash, the lone ruler yields. His reign is over. The coalition is no longer a wandering band. They are the rightful kings of this harsh corner of the Serengeti. The newly conquered land becomes a blood-soaked arena where power is born, where nomads rise to become monarchs. With their victory secured, the lionesses enter estrus. The season of mating begins. Cubs soon follow their tiny voices, echoing the birth of a dynasty forged in conflict. As dawn breaks, the lead male ascends a rocky outcrop and roars. The call carries for miles, summoning the lionesses and young males for their first coordinated hunt. This time, they do not target easy prey. No zebra, no antelope. They seek a rival worthy of their new reign, the African buffalo. The buffalo is no ordinary quarry. It is one of Africa's big five, not for its size, but for its sheer dangerousness. It is known as the Widowmaker or the Black Death for its long memory and a fury that never fades. A wounded buffalo will not flee. It will circle back, ambush, and retaliate. Nearly 2,000 pounds of muscle, armed with deadly curved horns that grow from a thick, nearly impenetrable shield of bone on its forehead. Backed by the unyielding spirit of its herd, it stands like a living fortress. A herd of buffalo will not hesitate to charge a pride of lions to rescue one of their own. For them, defense is attack. But for these lion warriors, that challenge is precisely what makes the hunt worthwhile. Under the alpha's command, the pride fans out in silence, taking measured steps, every muscle coiled like a spring. From yards away, a roar shatters the stillness. The chase ignites. The savannah trembles with the thunder of hooves and the sound of battle cries. The savage feast that follows is more than a meal. It is a declaration of dominance written in blood and claw. But ambition does not stop here. With their territory secure and their unity cemented, the three kings set their sights on an even greater challenge. The African elephant, an icon of ancient strength and wisdom. Weighing up to 6 tons. A mountain of flesh and bone, moving with the gravity of time itself. They are creatures of complex societies, ruled by an experienced matriarch. Their memories span decades, and their loyalty is absolute. To attack an adult is suicide. Their herds are a moving fortress, where every member is prepared to fight to the death to protect the young. Hidden in the tall grass, the pride waits. They are not seeking a direct confrontation. They are seeking a moment of vulnerability. Their target is the future of the herd, a young calf, straying from the protective circle of its mother's legs. The attack is a symphony of calculated chaos. This is rare behavior recorded in only a few places across Africa, where lions have learned to conquer the largest prey the land has ever borne. The savannah bears witness to a display of audacity and brutal tactics. This is not just a kill. It is a statement that in this coalition forged by blood, no prey is beyond reach. The afternoon sun glints on blood-stained fur. A solemn silence fills the air. The power of a kingly coalition is undeniable, a force built on domination and supremacy. But on this savannah, the crown does not only belong to the mighty. There is another kind of power, quieter, yet no less devastating, defined by an unbreakable vow of unity. Where the dawn casts a golden light over the vast grasslands, an army of mottled shadows appears. These are African wild dogs. Lean bodies, long legs, and large round ears that pivot constantly. They do not have the brute strength of a lion. They lack the bone-crushing jaws of a hyena. But they possess a far more formidable weapon, absolute unity. Every movement is perfectly synchronized. A glance is enough. A flick of the tail sends a clear message. Each individual is a vital part of a machine that operates with flawless precision. Only about 6,600 wild dogs remain on the continent, of which only around 1,400 are mature adults. The species faces the threat of extinction. But the numbers do not tell the whole story. What is extraordinary is how they live, how they decide, how they care. Before each hunt, the pack engages in a peculiar ritual. They sneeze. Scientists have discovered this is, in fact, a form of voting. The number of sneezes determines whether the pack will set out to hunt. Democracy in the heart of the wild savannah. When the pack decides to act, everything changes in an instant. At dawn, a herd of impala grazes peacefully. A gentle breeze carries a scent that only the wild dogs truly understand, the scent of opportunity. With their lyre-shaped horns and elegant build, they are the embodiment of savanna grace. But that beauty conceals an immutable truth. They were born to flee. Every muscle is a coiled spring, every ear a living radar, scanning for the unseen danger on the wind. The pack spreads out without a sound, splitting into smaller groups to form an invisible net around the herd. No growls, no premature charges, just pure calculation. Then the leader gives the signal. Chaos erupts. The pack surges forward in a storm of speed and determination. When the chosen impala collapses from exhaustion, it is brought down in seconds. The meal is shared amidst growls and quick bites. This solidarity is not mere kindness. It is a survival technique, honed over millions of years of evolution. The hunting success rate of wild dogs is 60 to 90% higher than any other large predator on the continent. Not through individual strength, but through the seamless coordination of every member. Below the ground, a system of dens conceals the next generation. Sheltered by the earth and the warmth of the pack, the pups await their share. Their sharp yelps call the adults to return with fresh meat and regurgitate it for them. For most carnivores, this behavior would be unthinkable. Here, it is law. No one is left behind. The future of the pack belongs to all. But on the savannah, victory always brings peril. As the pack feeds, the scent of blood carries to a giant. A golden shadow moves through the tall grass. The pack surrounds the intruder, barking, nipping, harassing from all sides. They know the fight is hopeless, but their loyalty transcends fear. The savannah offers no time for funerals. As dusk settles, the pack regroups. They move through the dry grass not as scattered survivors, but as a single body. The loss is painful, but it also forges their bond ever stronger. In the memory of every pup, every adult, the lesson remains: the pack survives only when it stands together. As the dry season tightens its grip, the hunt becomes ever more grueling. The sun bakes the earth, waterholes vanish. Prey migrates across vast distances. The dogs cover tens of miles each day, crossing cracked plains and dry riverbeds. Their paws endure, their bodies adapt, their spirit never wavers. Even when faced with invisible threats, rabies or distemper, epidemics that can wipe out an entire pack, the dogs respond in the only way they know how: together. The weak are fed, the sick are protected. Though death claims some, the lesson endures. The pack is the embodiment of resilience, standing firm against the impossible. Under the full moon, the pack rests in a circle, their bodies touching for warmth and security. Their breathing synchronizes as if they share a single heartbeat. The dawn will bring a new hunt, new prey, and new dangers. But with each passing day, each step taken side by side, the truth of their power becomes ever clearer. Alone, they are vulnerable. Together, they are invincible. African wild dogs are more than just hunters. They are the living embodiment of the power of unity. In a world where every creature fights for itself, they are a reminder that true strength lies not in the largest fang or the loudest roar. It lies in the ability to move as one, to endure as a single force. But on the savannah, unity has many faces. And there is another species more profoundly misunderstood than any other that also possesses incredible collective power. In the vast African wilderness, where the sun beats down on endless golden fields and red earth, an unmistakable sound rips through the air, the hoarse, chilling laughter of the hyena. It is a voice that mirrors the harshest realities of life on the plains. For generations, the hyena has been dismissed as a scavenger, a shadow waiting for others to finish their hunt. But that belief is far from the truth. Hyenas are master hunters. Their skill and lethality are second to none, rivaling that of lions or cheetahs. They do not move with the grace of the great cats, nor do they possess the explosive speed of the cheetah. But their strength lies elsewhere in their unparalleled stamina and their astounding tactical coordination. A mature spotted hyena can weigh up to 190 pounds. Its compact body is powered by dense muscle and the most powerful jaws in the animal kingdom. With a bite force exceeding 1,100 psi, equivalent to 4,500 newtons, a hyena's jaws can crush the toughest bones that no other predator can touch. Where many predators take only the meat, the hyena consumes nearly everything: flesh, hide, bone, and the nutrient-rich marrow within. But their true dominance comes not from the individual, but from the clan. And here is what is most astonishing. Spotted hyena society is ruled entirely by females. This is one of the very few large mammal species where the female holds absolute power. The lowest-ranking female in a clan still stands above the highest-ranking male who joins from the outside. Clans range from 10 to 80 members, operating with the coordinated precision of a military unit. Every individual understands their role. The savannah becomes a battlefield, and the hyenas are master strategists. In an open field, a herd of wildebeest grazes in the fading light. The peace seems secure. But hidden in the tall grass, the keen eyes of a hyena have already locked onto a single target. The clan has made its decision. A distracted wildebeest, lagging behind the herd, becomes the focus. No growls, no premature charges, just silent, careful movements as the hyenas spread out to form a closing circle. Then the silence shatters. A lead hyena rushes forward, forcing the wildebeest to run directly into the path of the waiting ambush. Within seconds, the wildebeest is down, overcome by overwhelming numbers. Jaws tear through hide and bone. The feast begins. Even while eating, their vigilance never fades. Ears pivot constantly. Eyes scan the horizon. On the savannah, any meal can turn into a battle. As the dry season yields, the first rains sweep across the cracked earth. The once barren landscape begins to bloom, heralding the start of a new cycle. Among the dew-covered bushes, the clan has chosen a high, secluded den. Here, the matriarch gives birth to her first litter. She is no longer a nomad. Now, she is a mother. The cubs are born blind and fragile, but they carry the hope of a new generation. Their dark fur and piercing cries mark a new chapter for the clan. The cubs grow quickly. Unsteady legs soon carry them into bold, playful steps, nipping, chasing, wrestling, rehearsing for the battles that await them in adulthood. But the savannah never rests. Taking advantage of the clan's dispersal after a hunt, a massive figure looms. It is a lone male lion, an ancient enemy, bearing the promise of destruction. With overwhelming power, it strikes at the heart of the den before the females can rally a defense. In the wild, eliminating a rival's next generation is a brutal survival tactic. As the evening light fades and the savannah is cast in a coppery glow, the honey badger begins its patrol. The darkness is its shield, the silence, its greatest ally. It moves through the bush with a low, determined gait, sniffing, digging, searching. At a glance, its appearance is unimpressive. A body barely 3 feet long, weighing between 20 and 35 pounds. Its back is covered in a silver-gray mantle that shimmers in the sun, a stark contrast to its dark underbelly. But beneath this modest exterior lies a formidable arsenal, a fighting machine honed by millions of years of evolution. The honey badger's jaws are strong enough to crush a tortoise's shell, something even a lion's fangs cannot easily penetrate. Its claws are curved and sharp, nearly 2 inches long, shaped for a single purpose: to dig, to tear, and to fight. No feast is too small for this warrior. Its hunger never rests. As the honey badger retreats to its subterranean fortress, the savannah reveals another stage where power is measured not in tenacity, but in flashes of pure muscle.